Greetings, my name is Samhit of ASU, and for my BioLab 282 assignment, I will be talking about a research conducted by Douglas Bastos regarding changes in eels' evolutionary hunting behaviors. In August 2012, Douglas Bastos, a graduate student at Brazil's Instituto Nacional de Pesquisas de Amazonia, was exploring a remote waterway in the Amazon rainforest when he came across a small lake teeming with electric eels. Electric eels are known to be solitary creatures, but Bastos saw more than 100 of them together. Dr. Bastos, observing, saw that the many eels began corralling groups of tetrafish into tightly packed balls and bombarding them with synchronized electric attacks that sent them flying, potentially killing their prey and catching them. 2 years later, Dr. Bastos and his team of researchers returned to the area to study this unusual phenomenon. The findings of their study overturned the idea that electric eels are exclusive solitary predators, and this raises new questions about the lives of these little understood fish. Eels are known to hunt alone by sneaking up and shocking them, but hunting them in groups can enable predators to hunt prey that would otherwise be too fast or too impossible. Although many mammals, including wolves and orcas, are known to hunt in groups, the strategy is rarely seen in fish. Dr. Bastos analyzed electric eels conducting highly coordinated group hunts. The eels would start swimming together in large circles, surrounding thousands of tiny fish. The eels would then launch joint electric attacks, sending the tetra leaping out of the water. When the electrocuted fish splashed down, the eels would quickly devour them. The researchers suspect these electric eels orchestrate their attacks by communicating via low-voltage electric discharges, which was also a new evolutionary behavior discovered and observed among eels, as mentioned before, are solitary creatures. Now we're going to talk about the methodology. Dr. Bastos' goal was to determine any behavioral or environmental changes among these eels and compare them to that of any average eel and determine whether the changes linked to any evolutionary changes among the eels. Dr. Bastos and his team made observations near the mouth of a small lake on the banks of the Irie River. They took measures and samples of the environment and found it to be similar to that of any other eel's environmental conditions, meaning that they already came to the conclusion that the environment is not responsible for new behavioral changes. The shallow portion of the lake was used as a hunting area, while the deeper portion was used for resting. They tranquilized 8 individuals to know the sexes of the electric eels. From the records, the huge group was composed of male and female eels. During the hunts, they found that the eels were hunting small nectonic fishes. So far, Dr. Bastos and his team has witnessed and recorded 6 social predation events. Now let's talk about the results. From the observation, during most of the day, male and female adult eels were seen laying almost motionless close to the mud bottom or among submerged fallen branches. These periods of inactivity were only periodically interrupted by breeding at the surface. Around dawn and dusk, eels increased activities, swimming near the water surface and interacting with each other for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. Occasionally, they saw eels swim together in groups toward a hunting area that was shallow that consisted of small fishes. Groups of over 100 eels aggregated and started swimming in circles, herding small fishes into a circle. As they made the circle smaller, some eels moved in and back from the circle as the rest of the group synchronously pushed it toward a shallower portion of the hunting area. Then individual eels were seen to launch a joint predatory strike. Fish hit by the electrical discharges were seen jumping out of the water and returning to the water surface stunned and motionless, being quickly swallowed by eels or any other predators nearby. Apparently, the prey ball was attacked by each time by different subsets of eels. Each event, including the movement from and to the hunting area, took about 2 hours from start to end and involved 5 to 7 joint high voltage predatory attacks. So now let's talk about this discussion of the experiment. According to Dr. Bastos and his team, one conclusion they arrived at as to why these solitary animals are hunting in large numbers is because of their hunting tactics and efficiencies. Eels are not the most successful or efficient aquatic hunters, regardless of their ability to conduct electricity. With the way things are right now for the aquatic creatures, eels have had to adapt adapted to more harsher and more colder environmental conditions than before, making it harder for them to hunt food by themselves. Their electric power can at best be only used against predators, and whenever it came to hunting, their prey would usually be stolen by other creatures. That is the reason why eels are becoming more social and starting to hunt together. With the amount of voltage they can produce as a group, their hunting tactics are more efficient, and their increased electrical powers can be used to send off a message again to predators and scavengers, warning them of the strength a group of eels possess and telling them to back off. They also hypothesize that the use of locations with high prey abundance, as well as structural conditions favoring hunting and long-time shelter for multiple eels, favor the emergence of social predations. The last thing is regarding the future. This is the first step in evolutionary behavioral changes. If eels are able to cooperate with each other, Dr. Bastos can only imagine the number of other species that might have any other new behavioral changes. Future study is still going on regarding the eels, as they think there could be more changes in behavior. This is my assignment, and thank you for listening.